This is Johnny Basement. We are back here in the basement for the New York Yankees against the Chicago Cubs. Afternoon games all weekend. Subscribe, hit the like and the bell notice. Drop your comments down below and come on, join the chat. The Yankees are struggling, to say the least. Struggling, to say the least. The Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles, neither one of them seem to want this division. Neither one of them. Both of them had many opportunities to just take off. Many opportunities to take off, and they haven't done it. Neither one of them has done it. Yankees dropped 2 out of 3 to the Nationals, 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals, 2 out of 3 to the Rangers. Sorry, I'm watching Rizzo's up right now. It's the top of the second inning, full count, but he just grounded out. So, yeah, and then they dropped 2 out of 3 to the Rangers. Now we got 3 games set here against the Cubs, who are fighting for a wild card spot. We'll have to see what happens with them there. This has been crazy. Nobody seems to want it. Nobody seems to want it. Justin, first cellar dweller accounted for. Justin, what's up, man? What's happening, bro? A little mid-afternoon baseball, man. I'll be on tonight for the Eagles and Packers, also in Brazil, of all places. Oh, yeah, they're playing in Brazil, man, tonight. It's on Peacock, though. See, they already start with these apps. I already have it, but I mean, if I didn't, I probably wouldn't order. It's crazy, man. Here's Volpe batting 8th at 254 batting average. This guy is very up and down, Volpe. I don't. Jury's still out on him for me when it comes to what I think about this kid. He's good in the field. He's a really good fielder. Obviously, got a Gold Glove last year, but I don't know about his bat. He's not the guy that I want up in a real tough situation. You know what I mean? They started him at leadoff during the season. He's just not the leadoff guy. Glaber's been doing really well as leadoff. Really well. OG Cellar Dweller Manav. Manav is in the base. What's up, Manav? At 11:45 your time. First break now at work now, Johnny. Yeah, I figured some people would be at work. But you know what? It came on anyway because I'm going to be watching the game anyway. And I'll be doing the game tonight, Manav. Doing the game tonight. Justin, if you get the Dofu app on your phone, you could be able to watch NFL games there if you like watching. I know the Dofu app because I did it when I was trucking. When I was trucking cross country, I did the Dofu and I got a few games out there, man, on that. But since I'm back home, I haven't done that in a while. But yeah, I do know about the app. It's actually saved me a lot of times, man, because most of the time when I was driving, I would listen to it on the radio. Here's Alex Verdugo right now. The guy's starting to hit, but if it wasn't for his outstanding fielding, I don't think Verdugo would even be playing anymore for the Yankees. Well, 3 up, 3 down. 3 up, 3 down. Yeah, I don't even think Verdugo would be on the team anymore if he wasn't playing. He's an excellent outfielder. The guy is no joke in the field, and he's got a great arm. He's accurate. You've seen him throw people out. But his bat has been – it's like volley. It's been awful. It's been awful. Justin, do you think this is LeBron's last year? No. You know what I think LeBron's going to do, like Tom Brady did? Like these guys that get up there in age and they're legends and they are just workaholics. I think he'll retire when he knows his body's done. He'll retire when he knows he doesn't want to be the guy just coming off the bench for a few points here and there. Because those guys aren't going to play like that. Dan Marino retired. He could have gone to the Vikings and played with Randy Moss and Chris Carter and Robert Smith at running back. But he retired. Mariano Rivera retired because he felt he just didn't have anymore. Like he's just a little bit on the downside. And these guys don't ever want to look bad. It'd be amazing when he does retire. It's going to – the NBA world's going to miss him, and the haters are going to miss him more. I can't believe that guy gets haters, man. The amount of hate he gets is ridiculous. The guy's a great human being on top of the ball player he is. But I think he's going to want to play a couple of years with his son and see how that works out, man. I think he's going to play a couple of years with his son. I would say this season and next season, and then probably after that. Because what is he going to be? Is he going to be 40 this year? Is he going to be 40? He might be turning 40. Let's check that out. Maybe he is. I think he is. Brady played to what, 45, 44? I typed in LeBron's last name like I even needed to do that. December 30th, 1984. So he'll be 40 this year. He'll be 40 in December. I'd probably say next season would be his last season. I would think next season be it for him. All right, so we got bottom of the second inning right now. Paredes is up, hitting 227, fifth in the order for the Cubs, still 0-0. Luis Gil is on the mound. Thankfully, nothing happened to him. He had a back strain a couple weeks ago, and I haven't really seen him since. But he's back. He's okay. He's 12-6 with a 3.37 ERA, and he struck out 144 batters. Man, this guy's been a great find this year. Gil has been a great find. He had a little rough patch there. Let's say end of May, beginning of June, somewhere around there. But overall, he's been doing all right. What do you think, Justin? You think he's going to retire? I don't think so, man. The guy is playing outstanding, man. The guy is still one of the best players in the game at 39. I don't see LeBron retiring this year. Possibly next, but like I said, he probably wants to get a couple years in with his son. That would be my feeling on it. Did you watch the Justin? Oh yeah, you weren't in the chat with us last night. Did you watch the game last night? That was some finish last night. Some finish. That was great. The Ravens, man, just by a toe, and not even the whole toe, just like a quarter of the toe landed in. A quarter of the toe landed in, and that was it. That would have been great if it was a tie. Lockport was hoping it was going to be a tie. Can you imagine? The AFC would be turned upside down if Kansas City and Baltimore had finished in a tie. They'd have turned upside down. Yeah, the Cubs here, you just naturally think that they're garbage, and they're not. They're in the wild card race. They're not garbage. The Cubs had a no-hitter the other day, by the way. That's right. The Cubs had a no-hitter going the other day. They haven't had one since, I think, in over 4,000 games they haven't had one. That's crazy. Up until Yohan Santana threw a no-hitter for the Mets in 2012, they had never had a no-hitter. They were like the longest team ever without one. That was a nasty slider Gil just threw. Broke off and hit the lower corner of the plate. He came within one strike of pitching a perfect game. That's crazy. I'm listening to the announcer right now, Michael Kay. He said he came within a pitch of a perfect game, and he ended up walking the guy in the ninth and got the next guy out. Two outs, man. Neither team is really getting going here, so the first two batters are out. All right, so you got Swanson coming. Rizzo got a huge standing ovation coming back to Cubs, big part of the 2016 Cubs World Series title. Swanson is up now, hitting 241. Gil's thrown 31 pitches through 2 innings. Looking pretty good. We'll see, man. I'm kind of interested in seeing that game tonight. I'm interested in seeing what comes about and from that. I want to see if the Packers are for real or if the last year was just some fluky season or they just turned it on like that. And see if Jordan Love is for real. I always think of and CJ Stroud. They all looked for real last year. Let's see if they do it again this year. I always think of how Mac Jones dipped off. Mac Jones dipped off, man. He was runner-up for Rookie of the Year. Everybody in New England and a lot of the media, oh, this guy, comparable to Tom Brady's first year, and we could see a couple Super Bowls from this guy. And what happened to Mac Jones? He went downhill. And now he's on the Jags, back up to Trevor Lawrence. You don't know. And at the end of that first season, nobody would have believed that. They went 10-7. They went to the playoffs, got their doors blown off by Buffalo. But, hey, that's his rookie season. That can happen. He was gone. Then he went down. His Belichick made so after Josh McDaniels left, that was the end of Mac Jones. And then putting Matt Patricia as offensive coordinator, that was a really bizarre move. Joe Judge just came off of ruining the Giants. And then you bring in Bill O'Brien, who is a good offensive coordinator, but he couldn't get anything going with the kid. So you don't know. We'll see what these second-year guys come out to be. Maybe they'll turn out to be great. Maybe they'll turn out to be really good. Who knows? We'll see. So there it is. No hitter on Wednesday for the Cubs. One pitch away from a perfect game. I want to know, Zach, another cellar dweller accounted for. Zach, what's going on, man? What's happening? Figured I'd do an after Friday afternoon game, man. The Yankees are on. I was going to watch them anyway. I just figured, see who's around. Maybe a lot of people are at work. But I'll be doing the Philadelphia game tonight, Zach. Be doing the Philly game tonight at 8:15, I think it is. And it better start at 8:15. Thereabouts. Last night, the holy crap, the Kansas City game took forever. It was like almost a half hour, 35 minutes. It started almost 9 when it said 8:20. Just a whole lot of hoopla. Let's see what 8:15 it says. So you got to figure like 8:30. I don't see tonight's game opening up as huge because Kansas City just won the Super Bowl, so they got to do the ring honor, and then they got to do Kelsey and Taylor Swift, and then you got to do that again, and then again. I don't see this game tonight having a huge – well, it might. They're in Brazil. Maybe they will have a huge opening. I don't know. We'll see. Whatever the case, I'll be on for it. Manav, where do you see the Jags going this season, Johnny? I think the Jags are going to be like 10-7, 9-8, something like that. I think they're just above average team. Maybe they'll have a breakout year. I don't know. I'm still waiting for Trevor Lawrence to get to the status that they were going to have him at. Remember, he was going to be the next Peyton Manning. Every guy that comes out, Caleb Williams now is already the next Patrick Mahomes. You can already see Mahomes styling. Can these analysts think of something else besides putting these kids under the pressure of comparing them to a legend when they just came out? Remember, Zion was going to be the next LeBron James. Zion's good, but he gets hurt a lot, and he's nowhere near LeBron James. That's crazy. But that's the new thing nowadays. When guys come out, they automatically have to be compared to a legend, and they have to live up to it right away. Bryce Young, they say, is already a bust. He landed on a bad team in the Panthers. He's already a bust after one season. A bust? I can name a lot of quarterbacks' first season that was horrendous, starting with Peyton Manning. His first season with the Colts, he was 3-13 and threw 28 interceptions. Do you know what that would be now? Do you know what that would be if one of these kids came out here and did that now? 3-13 and 28 interceptions? That would not go over well. Not go over well. That was back before social media. Peyton Manning was terrible in his first year. Troy Aikman was pretty bad in his first year. I think he threw over 20 interceptions, and he had he was on the 1-15 Cowboys. He was on it, and you know what's funny? He didn't play the game that they won. The Cowboys were 1-15 his first year there. He didn't even play that game that they won. So you don't know what and then he ended up winning 3 Super Bowls. You don't know what these guys are going to do. Who's your favorite quarterback? Mine's Josh Allen. Current quarterback? Favorite current quarterback? Well, I hope it's Aaron Rodgers, and he takes us to the promised land. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I like Josh Allen a lot. I don't know how old you are, Zach, but Josh Allen reminds me of a John Elway. John Elway carried teams on his shoulders, man, in the 80s. Took a lot of Broncos teams that really were above average teams and took them to the Super Bowl, and he just ran into NFC teams that were just far and beyond way better than the Broncos, and most of them were above average teams. And Josh Allen definitely carries the load on his shoulders, man. That's a guy now that the media is starting to turn on. Oh, he's overhyped. He's overrated. Isn't that crazy? What did he do wrong in the playoffs last year? Throw the ball right to people's hands, right in their hands, and they were dropping them. Yeah, I like Josh Allen. Even though I'm a Jet fan, I do like Josh Allen. I do have sympathy for the Bills fans too, because they've been through it like Jet fans have. You guys recently have been better than us, but overall, we've had horrendous quarterbacks in our past, horrendous play coaches, drafting poorly. You know what I mean? You guys had J.P. Lossman. Remember that? J.P. Lossman was going to be the next great Bills quarterback. Situations like that. But Josh Allen, I can see right now. I like Joe Burrow. He's been hurt. Oh my gosh, Glaber, you got away with one there. That was a strike. That was a strike. That was a perfect sinker right in the lower corner of the strike zone, and he called it a ball. We'll take it. Glaber's on first. Juan Soto coming up. Manav's at work right now. Yeah, Zach. Hate being a Port supporter. Man, Zach. I did a review on that game. I record the games here, so when I wake up, I did one on the Hawks today too. When I wake up, I just watch the game. It's the footy playoff, so I am watching it. Juan Soto's up now. There's one strike on a man on first, nobody out. Top of the third inning. Let's go, Juan. Come on. Come on, Juan. And that Port Adelaide game, man, I mean, the first half was good. The first half was going pretty well. Port Adelaide blew a couple opportunities, but, man, 2 points in the third quarter, Zach? 2 points. 37-2. I'm not rubbing it in, man. I'm just saying that was just – Port Adelaide finished second overall. 4 points behind the Swans in first place? 4 points, right? Difference? And they had just blown out the Swans. I think they came in on a 6-game winning streak. I don't have to tell you, you're a fan of Port. I'm going for Brisbane. I'm going for the Lions. They just come in on a 6-game winning streak, and one of them was an absolute annihilation of the Swans, who finished first on the ladder. Crazy, man. Crazy. I'm only into the footy for a couple of years, man, but people tell me this is a normal thing for Port to blow these games. I don't know. I feel badly for you, though, Zach. I didn't have a dog in the fight. I don't feel one way or the other about Port or Geelong. Soto with a base hit. Let's go. We got first and second now. Aaron Judge coming up. 4:30 a.m. in South Australia. Oh, wow. You're up early, Zach. You're up early, man. The media hypes these people up too much, Johnny. Yes, they do, Manav. They do. Too much, man. And they put a lot of pressure on these kids. I don't know what Caleb Williams is going to turn into, but he's getting comparisons to Mahomes already? Come on. Aaron Judge up. First and second, nobody out. Let's go, man. We need a month. And it sucks that we got to depend on Judge and Soto to get our big hits. I'm 23. I'll wait with something else. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm in my 50s. I saw John Elway when he got drafted with Dan Marino and Jim Kelly for starters. OG Celadwella Bruin in the basement. What's going on, Bruin? What is happening, brother? ultimate case in point was how everyone was all over Manziel, and he turned out, oh, man. Got something there for you, Zach. Oh, Judge, he just missed that. How about that? Is it glare on it? I'm trying to get it not on it. You already know. That was his first year with the Browns. Johnny Football. Base hit down the line. That's scoring runs. Let's go. Glaber's coming in. Come on. 1-0 Yankees. Aaron Judge comes through, gets the single down the line. Actually got a double. So we got Soto on third and Judge on second, top of the third inning. No outs. 1-0 Yankees. Giant supporter. I know all too well about drafting a trash quarterback. Oh, man. I'm a Jets fan, but I like the Giants. I do go for them. And yeah, it's just I don't understand giving him all the money and then you let Saquon walk. Bruin, what are you doing today, man? Good to see you in here, brother. Another base hit. We're getting hit after hit after hit. Soto comes in. Judge comes in. 3-0 Yankees. Austin Wells gets a single down, bases clearing single right down the line. In the gap. Judge and Soto come home. Still nobody out. That's what I'm talking about. Glaber walks. Soto gets a single. Judge gets a double down the line, scores a run. And then Wells comes up, first pitch, hits the gap between the left and center fielder. Second and third base, come home. 3-0 Yankees. This is what we've been needing. Man. Come on, let's go. Oh. Bruin, I was wiped out last night. Wiped out. Yes, you saw him. Is that guy nuts? Lloyd Lindsey Young, is that guy nuts? Hello? That was the regular weatherman when we were growing up on Channel 9. Man, Bruin, you got to see a lot yesterday. Rizzuto and Lloyd Lindsey Young, Morton Downey Jr. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. I like that opening, Bruin. Do it again tonight. When I do the Eagles game, come in there and do that again. Mr. Marine will love that. Stanton, we got a man on first now. Stanton's up. Looks like he flew out. These outfielders are playing out there right now, and there's a whole bunch of seagulls hanging out in the outfield. Every time a ball is hit out there, they're running around. It's crazy. Yeah, well, the Dogs got beaten up pretty badly at home, too. They lost by 37. I told you, I just put a video out for that. I watched that this morning. The second and third quarter for the Dogs, they were bad. They got outscored 64-16. That's really bad in those quarters combined. Jazz is up now. Austin Wells still on first. 3-0 Yankees. I hate Geelong so much, probably more than the Crows. The Crow fans must have been happy. Julian, you hate Geelong, huh? I'm only in this footy 2 years, so I don't know the real rivalries. I know everybody hates Collingwood. I know that. That's my team right there, man. All right, Jazz Chisholm is up. It's 1-1 right now. Man on first, one out. Manav going back to work now. See you guys tonight. All right, Manav, we'll see you tonight. Eagles, Packers tonight. It'll probably be 5:30. You're lucky, man. You get all these games early in California. It'll be 5:30 for you. You don't look a day over 20. Huh. How about now? Oh, man. That is awesome. Bruin, Lloyd is – yeah, you got to come in there tonight like that, Bruin. You have to come in there tonight like that. I missed it, but I've been missing a lot lately, bro. Things have been going straight over my head every day. I forgot all about that. Can you imagine? That's what we grew up with. We grew up with Lloyd Lindsey Young. Then you'd watch on the same channel. Morton Downey would come on after that. And then if you wanted to flip over to the Yankees, you listen to Phil Rizzuto. Those guys were all around at the same time, Bruin. Those personalities were all around at the same time. All right, Jazz is still fighting up there. Who's that? Hold on. I just missed something on the screen here. Hold on a second, guys. Can this thing rewind ever? Here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Nice catch by Anthony Rizzo's fan in the stands. Okay. I thought that was something happened there. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I thought something happened there. Anthony Rizzo's up. Jazz got out. Rizzo getting standing ovation every time he comes up for the championship in 2016. Oh, Wells got picked off at first. Come on, dude. He doesn't even steal. How'd he get picked off? Oh, he fell. He fell. He jumped off to take a little bit more of a lead, and he slipped. That's why he got picked off. He fell down when he was taking a lead. Anyway, the Yankees went up 3-0 on a walk by Torres, single by Soto. Judge's double down the line, got Torres home, and then Wells hit to the gap, got Judge and Soto home. So that's how we're up to 3-0. Bottom of the third coming up. Gunner, OG Cellar Dweller accounted for. Gunner's in the basement. What's going on, man? Lloyd is awesome. I definitely will. And that Morton Downey show is nuts. Oh, my gosh. Bruin, yes, that was our life growing up. And we didn't have cable. That's what you watched. And it was entertaining. It's actually more entertaining than some of the stuff that's on now. How's it going to you, Gunner? We missed you last night, man. Were you working? I know you popped in for a minute. You were working? Because we're going to be on tonight, too. This game should be over around – it's already the third inning. It should be over around 5. Were you working? Zach, I actually play American football here in Australia. It's good. I fun. I play the D-line. Nice. Do you? You play D-line. You must be a big dude. Yeah, I grew up a Jets fan, man. I'm 1,000% Jets, and my favorite New York Jet of all time. Well, I got a couple: Curtis Martin and Joe Klecko. Those are my favorite Jets of all time. Curtis Martin and Joe Klecko. I would say Joe Namath, but I never saw him play. By the time I started watching the Jets, that's about the time the Jets thought it was a brilliant idea to get rid of a young John Riggins. Hey, we're going to get rid of this guy because he keeps getting 1,000 yards every year. So let's get rid of John Riggins, and he can go. You go win Super Bowls with Washington. You go win Super Bowls with them. But the Jets have only got Free McNeil, who was a great running back anyway. But it's just a point. So I love Joe Namath on the career. Everybody loves Joe Namath. Gunner, how you doing, Bruin? Just look up the 2007 AFL Grand Final. That'll bring back some trauma. I will look it up. In the offseason, I like what's looking at fly out to center, 1 out already. Luis Gil has got 44 pitches in, and he's looking really good. Luis Gil has been a solid find for us, man. They weren't sure if he was going to be a long relief pitcher or if they were going to start him, and they started him, man. He's been really doing it this year. Little shaky at the end of May and June, but he's been doing it overall. 2007 Grand Final. I will look at that, man. Now, I feel blessed, Zach. 2 years. 2 years. Another fly out, dead center, Judge back, warning track, and it's out. I almost did a Rizzuto there, Bruin. I almost did a Phil Rizzuto. Holy cow, that's going to go. And then the outfielder never moves. He's not even – he's 20 yards away from the warning track. Phil Rizzuto. Then he always talked and he didn't know he was live. He would talk a lot and not know he was live. They're like, oh, we're live? We're back? You've seen it, Bruin. Man, Zach, you didn't have to do that, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I try. I'm just myself. What you see is what you get when I do videos, man. I get hyped. I get hyper about my teams. I get hyper about sports. And when I first found out about footy, I saw how passionate everybody was about footy. I said, well, let me it's kind of funny how I came about it too. I hold on, 2 outs here right now, 2-0 on Bush. It's the top of the order for the Cubs right now. Good play by Rizzo. That's it. 3 up, 3 down. Good play by Rizzo. That was hit over 100 miles an hour right at him, and he got it. So through 3 innings, Luis Heel hasn't given up a hit yet. So, yeah, Zach, I was doing these hard hit videos. A couple of years ago, I was doing, hard hit videos, and people wanted to watch them. Everybody likes seeing people get rattled out there, and I did hockey ones and NFL ones. So I did one, and my mistake was I was calling footy rugby. And I kept calling in this video, I kept calling it rugby. Every Aussie killed me for that. They're like, look at this dumb American calling our sport rugby. Another guy doesn't know what he's doing and what he's talking about and blah, blah, blah. And I had people like, oh, you should go back and forth and, that'll go viral. I'm like, no, I want to see these people are so passionate about their sport. I said, well, I'm as passionate about the games I like. Let me see what makes this footy so special. I'm hooked ever since I started watching it, man. I am hooked. It's amazing the athleticism in there. And I think in some ways they're 2 different sports, rugby and footy, but the way they can pass that ball downfield, man, with their feet, like an NFL quarterback throws a pass is incredible to me. The way the contested possessions is like watching a hockey game, because that's the only sport I can think of where the contested possessions and things move and change this quickly. And if you're not paying attention, you can get rattled. Really crazy. Great sport though, man. Great sport. Gunner, good Bruin, annoyed that Baltimore lost the way they did. Jackson missed he missed wide. Flowers was wide open. He threw it behind him, Gunner. And then they say by a toe. We're talking about a toenail. He was out of bounds by a toenail last night. So we're going to do the game tonight in Brazil. It's in Brazil. Crazy. So yeah, man, that was a crazy game. Everybody wanted the Chiefs to lose, and they didn't. Oh, Rizzo with a first pitch single, man. Boy, Rizzo coming back home to Chicago. He's really standing up. He's doing really well. The Chicago Cubs are cheering for him because he was a beloved Chicago Cub, and after 100 years, he wins the championship for them. Zach, I've represented South Australian American football when interstate Queensland are the best because they have lots of rugby players on their line. Nice. Rugby's a rough sport. I have not watched a lot of it, but when I have watched it, it's incredible. I do so many sports, Zach. It's hard to keep up with all of them. Yeah, we're all annoyed, Bruin. That was irritating last night. Volpe's up top of the 4th inning. Rizzo on first. And Volpe grounds out into a double play. What a surprise. Like I said, I don't know what to feel about this kid, Volpe. I don't dislike him. And I'm not a big fan of him either. It's funny because just when I'm about to really like the kid, he doesn't get a hit for like 15 games and gets out in the worst situations, pressure situations. And then I'm like, I don't really like this guy. And then then he has 30 games in a row on base. He had 30 games in a row of reaching base safely. So I'm like, wow, this guy's really found his groove now. It's his 2nd year. Maybe I'm being a little hard. And he's hitting over 300 during that time. And then he goes right back down to 150 for the next 20 games, and he can't get on base. Now, people say, well, that's baseball. No, that's some pretty up and down cycles. Not everybody goes through that. And here's Alex Verdugo, who's been like in a 2.5-month slump. This is the worst batting Verdugo's ever had. He didn't do this with the Dodgers or even the Red Sox. As I said earlier, his fielding is the reason. His fielding is the reason that he is still playing, because he is a fantastic outfielder. And he's got a cannon for an arm, and he's pretty accurate throwing people out. So that's going to keep you on the roster. That's going to keep you in the lineup right there. Bruin, let's celebrate their third Super Bowl on a live stream. Their third Super on a live stream. What is that? Oh, I see what that is now. When I saw the red, I thought someone was jumped in here about the Super Bowl. Bruin, even for the 80s, it's crazy that it aired at all. I know. Oh, Morton Downey? Oh, he made Jerry Springer look innocent. Shout out to Zach for the dono. Yeah, man, he didn't have to do that. He earned it. I'm just me. This is how I am when I watch games with friends of mine, or when I used to go to bars. I don't drink anymore, but when I did, this is how I was at the bars. We're all just hanging out and talking. It's fans talking to fans. I'm not on here trying out for anything or trying to be somebody that I'm not. That's when I think it comes out with some people. Some people on their channels it's like they're trying too hard to be something they're not, or trying to be too perfect. Or like, I don't go back and edit my mistakes out. These guys will tell you, Zach, they've been with me a while, Bruin and Gunner and the other guys that'll be here later on tonight. I don't edit out anything. If I make a mistake, I just say we're in the basement. You don't get any lower than that. I don't have to make myself look perfect. We all know a lot of stuff in here. When we get going at night, all of us have a lot of sports knowledge, and we don't know. You don't know. You make a mistake, oh well. I made a mistake on the video that I did today for the footy between the Bulldogs and the Hawks. And I was like, yeah, because the Hawks were going further and they hadn't won a finals in 9 years because the Bulldog. And I just stopped because I didn't look up the last time the Bulldogs had won anything. So I had to admit it right there. Man, I didn't even look that up. And I just left it. I didn't edit that out because it's real. Be real. It's real. I said when the Bulldogs, I said, oh, you know what? The Bulldogs, they haven't been in since. I didn't look that up. And that's what I said, just like that in the video. I said I didn't even look that up, so I was wrong. Zach, did you see the Carlton fan throw the bottle at the goal umpire 2 weeks ago? Yeah, that happens over here too, Zach. It is disgraceful, man. You know, it's one thing for fans to chat and chirp and, you know, bark and do these things, but it's like we talk about and hear a lot, fans getting in fights over these teams. Like the Yankees and the Red Sox are a big rivalry. The fans hate each other. It's a whole bunch of talk. It should just be for fun. People get put in hospitals or killed over these games. You kidding me? Guess what? The organizations aren't saying, yeah, look at our guy. He knocked out that Red Sox player. Look at it, man. That's our fan. Let's help him out. Let's take care of him. Let's send him a check. No, let's bail him out. No, that doesn't happen. Can you imagine that? Like, people getting fights over this stuff. It's insane. And then doing that, throwing stuff at the refs. Like, I mean, come on, man. These umpires in baseball make a ton of mistakes. You could YouTube strikes that were called balls. And they're like 10 feet off the plate and they're getting called strikes. It happens. Who was the guy, Gunner or Bruin, you guys might remember a few years ago, who was the pitcher that threw a perfect game? And the umpire, the last batter, he called safe at first base, and he was out. He was out by like 2 steps. This poor guy threw a perfect game, and it got ripped because that umpire made the wrong call, which they didn't have reviews back then. Do you remember Angel Hernandez? Yes. And he's one that makes a ton of mistakes. I think he just retired, bro, and he's hated. A lot of people hated him, man, even his fellow workers. We go hard over here, no pads. When I played state gridiron, though, I got my first concussion, not even in Aussie rules. I grew up playing Aussie rules. Isn't that funny? Wow. Not even in Aussie rule. I love it, though, man. That game, to me, is just amazing to watch. The athleticism is insane. You got to have some serious cardio, too. 108-year drought. Yeah, the Cubs, 108 years. I got a feeling my Jets are going to win when I pass away. I wrote it down, 07 grand final. I'll check it out. I think I might have. I've seen a few of them from the past, but I'll check it out. I'll definitely check that one out. I already got it in my list here. That's something I'll watch. It's very painful to see as a Port supporter, even as a 6-year-old. I'm a 4 decades New York Jets fan. Pain is what I live by. Pain, disgrace, shame, embarrassment, downtroddenness, all of it. I've been a Jet fan since 1981. I've seen four AFC championship games, and we lost all 4. One game away from the big game. With teams, at least a couple of them should have made it in. And then every other year, we were just bad. 4-win seasons, 1-win seasons. Rich Kotite years, we were 4-28. 4-28. And the 1-15 year, we went undefeated in preseason. Incredible. Gunnar, Johnny is 100% authentic and honest. I am, dude. I tell you guys right up there, if I don't know, I don't know. If you guys tell me to look up something and I forgot, I've told people a million times on here, and I write, if I don't write it down, like people say, just put it in your phone. Oh, I'll never see it on my phone. If I don't put it down, if I don't write that down, I look at this before I come on here, because once I get off, it'll be out of sight, out of mind. So if I have it right here, so on the days I don't do this, I look up, man, what did people want me to watch? And I look through it and I look it up. That 07 grand final is already on the list. All right, bottom of the 4th inning, Yankees 3-0. Luis Gil is still not giving up a hit, but it's early in the game, so we don't talk no-hitter yet. Last season I played American football. We had a trash coach. Every defensive play had a 3-4 front. Yeah, we know what that is, but thanks for pointing it out. 3D, 4 linebackers, yep. And he wondered why we got smoked. You got to have pressure up front. 3 down linemen and 4 backers, man, it's not the way to go. I mean, it was like the old 46 defense, the 85 Bears ran. That would never work today. Never work today. Everybody's in the box. Everybody just storming. You're just storming with pressure. It would never work today. But back then, 85 Bears, man, they gave up 1 touchdown. 1 touchdown in the entire playoffs and Super Bowl. And that touchdown was given up at garbage time in the Super Bowl. They shut out the Giants. They shut out the Rams. And that's the Lawrence Taylor Giants. Like the Lawrence Taylor Giants got shut out by the Bears. And Eric Dickerson and the Rams. Eric Dickerson is one of the greatest running backs of all time. They got shut out by the Bears. And the Patriots got just dragged up and down the field the whole game, and then they finally, in garbage time, scored a touchdown. I think that Super Bowl was 46-10. But, all right, Cody Bellinger's up. Boy, the Yankees, you heard that name associated with the Yankees all offseason. And he ends up re-signing with the Cubs anyway. 1-1. Gil's looking good. Gil is looking good. He's only thrown 56 pitches through 4 innings. OG Dweller, BK Gardini. I wasn't going to say BK Reaper. I still can't call you that. Gardini's in the base. What's going on, Gardini? Good to see you in here, man. I almost didn't do this afternoon game. I said, no, let's come on. I'm doing the game tonight too, Gardini. That's going foul. Yep. Yeah, let's look up Angel Hernandez. Yeah, no joke. Oh, man. That was Gardini probably remembers. Gardini, who was the pitcher for Detroit who got robbed of a perfect game when the umpire called the guy out? I mean, called the guy safe and he was really out. Who was the pitcher? Who was the pitcher that got robbed of that perfect game, even though we all know he threw it? And today they would have called him out. It would have been reviewed. Thank you. Jim Joyce made the call. Armando Galarrago. Thank you very much. I couldn't remember the guy's name. Thank you, Gardini. I knew you'd know. Remember that? That was disgraceful, man. We were talking about umpires making bad calls. And he felt awful. I know he apologized to him. And he knows he threw a perfect game, but it's not on record. Does it feel different for him? Maybe. I don't know. The Cubs pitcher, Hodge, was 1 pitch away from a perfect inning and ended up walking the guy. He got the next guy out. Fair ball down the line for Bellinger. Just got past a diving Rizzo. He's going to pull in with a double with 1 out. I don't care about this team. It is a joke run by a joke, management by a joke, and financed by a joke. Yeah, Gardini, I was telling you last year I don't like Aaron Boone running this team. And Cashman. Cashman should have been gone a long time ago. I told you I don't like Aaron Boone. There's some things I like about him. I mean, he stands up for his players. But, I mean, how long are you going to keep playing Verdugo without giving him a day off? How about give Volpe a day off? How about stop pushing DJ LeMahieu like he's going to turn into the batting title champion he won when he won it 2 years in the past? DJ is not hitting. Why is Oswaldo Cabrera still on the bench? I know he's not an everyday starter, but goodness, man, can you play the kid from time to time? He freaking plays his heart out, man. Every opportunity he gets, he's only 25. It's not a video game. Well, maybe I'll get a hit with this guy today. He's like 1 for 38, but maybe I'll get a hit with him today. Unbelievable. Also, I don't know if you know this yet, but I'm footy in the people in the bright purple shirts on the field are called runners. What they do is relay info from the coach to the players. I know who you're talking about, Zach, but I didn't know they were called runners. So thank you for that. I have seen them do that, and I didn't know who that was. I just thought that was like the water boy. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know who that was. They're called runners. Thank you, man. That's good to know. See, I'm learning things as I go along. I don't know everything about the sport, but I know enough to get on there as a fan that I can talk it when I do reviews. Because a lot of it is the same concept. There's a lot of things that are similar concepts in sports. And sometimes you do see teams playing not to lose. You're basically taking the pressure off, taking your foot off the gas when it was working. And now you're going to drop in these zone defenses and lay back. And, we're going to prevent ourselves from not winning. And then you're not winning. That's why I always call it prevent defense. Prevent yourself from not winning. Great opening night, Gardini. We were on last night. I was on here, man. Great opening night. Lamar missed that wide open Flowers, man. Wide open Flowers, missed them. And then that toenail that they lost by. Crazy game. Neither team, it was good defense for a little while, man. Then neither team wanted to take off. And then Ravens had him, man. Ravens had him. They had him at the end to at least tie it. I'll be on tonight, Gardini, if you want to join us, man. I'll be on tonight. Well, everybody. We're just doing the Yankee game now because I'm home, and I figured, hey, why not? I didn't know who was going to be on, who was at work or what. So here we are. Bottom of the fourth, man on second, 2 outs. And he grounded out. Perfect. So the Yankees are out of the inning. We're going to the 5th inning. Look at that, moving right along. Yeah, I agree with you, Gardini. This team's a joke. They're not winning it. They're not winning anything this year. Not with this pitching staff. Now, Luis Gil has been great. He's been great. Let me see who's and I'm going to start the game when the game actually starts, not like last night. Not like last night where it was like 40 minutes later the game started. That was late last night. That was late for me. I don't usually do that. Yeah, it says 8:15 tonight. We'll see. Probably because it's in Brazil, they're probably going to have a whole opening thing again. The NFL has to get it all in. So that's anyway. 8:15, 8:30, I'll be on. When the game starts, I'll come on. Where are we at? Zach, score was horrific, worse than the other night against them. Oh, really? Oh, boy. I got to check that out. I'm a Knicks fan and haven't seen the conference finals. I've seen the finals, Gardini. I saw the only team I've never seen in the championship game, Super Bowl, is the Jets. I've seen the Knicks in 94 and 99 lose in the finals. In the NBA championship, I saw them lose both of those. I've seen the Rangers win. I've seen the Rangers win a title, and I've seen the Yankees win multiple titles. So the only teams I've yet to see win a championship. Juan Soto, top of the fifth, first pitch, flies out. I need to see the Knicks and the Jets win something. I need to see the Jets in a Super Bowl. I've never even seen that. I've seen them fall short by a game 4 times. Gunner, Zach, the 4-3 defense is more popular in the NFL. It is, but some teams still run the 3-4. Yeah, they run the 3-4 in situationals. Yep. 4-3 is definitely the most popular one, though. They like 4 guys rushing. They like the 2 edge rushers. Gunner, did Rex Ryan love the 3-4 defense? Kind of. When he had the Jets, he kind of ran like a 3-3-5. 3 linemen, 3 backers, and 5 defensive backs. He liked doing that a lot. 3 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs. He liked doing that a lot. So, and then other times he would just have blitz packages. He blitzed the hell out of everybody. And we got, that was our death in the end, man. We lived and died by the blitz, but yeah, he liked running a 3-3-5. Gardini, 3-4 is fantastic with athletic linebackers, but putting sluggish edges in coverage would kill you. That's the problem. When an end has to cover a running back, it's not going to be good. Or God forbid, a slot receiver. Zach, due to the size of footy oval, runners are needed. They also tend to be first injured players. They are extremely important. I would think so, man. Guys out there, these guys get killed out there, man. And keeping those runners, you cannot let these guys get injured. It's amazing more guys don't get injured. I don't see a whole lot of – I haven't been watching it that long, but I don't see a whole lot of, like, Achilles tears. Like, over here, everybody tears their Achilles like it's going out of style, man. Everybody seems to tear their Achilles. And really only the important players, it seems. Austin Wells coming up. Austin Wells has been – Gardini, you got to like this kid Austin Wells, though, man. He's really been playing. And that's the other thing with Aaron. I don't understand why he plays Trevino as much as he does. We need bats right now more than you need Trevino's horrible average, even though he's a better defensive catcher than Wells. But Wells isn't even bad at defense. I mean, like, we need the bats. Trevino came off injury, and he started splitting their time again. I'm like, what is he doing? Wells is hitting great. He's on a real roll. He was hitting over 300 during that span when Trevino came back. Like, why are you taking this bat out of the lineup and putting Trevino in 3 of the next 4 games? Made no sense to me. Trainers. Oh, I've heard the term trainers from from the announcers. I've heard trainers before, so that's what. Okay, so that there's sometimes the announcers talk about stuff, and I pay attention, but you can't pick up everything, right away. Sometimes I have to rewind things. That's why I like to record the games also, besides the fact that they're on most of them on at 3 or 4 in the morning. Like the Swans and Giants is on like 2 in the morning over here. I can only record that. I can't. I'll never make. I barely made it to midnight last night on this channel. I was fading out. Mr. Marine, Bruin, they all saw it. I was fading out. Full count on Wells, 2 outs, nobody on. Armando Galarraga, we read that. As a kid, I rolled my ankle playing footy back in under 13 when I was 12. What was worse, the injury was the fact that I got carried. Oh, especially at that age. You know, at that age, people are going to kill you. They'll never let you forget that. That age, it's horrible. As an adult, come on. Wells looked at one right down the middle after I bigged him up. He struck out looking. He struck out looking, pitch right down the middle. Full count. Anyway, bottom of the fifth inning coming up. Gardini, am I up to you? I am up to you. There you are. Boy, I'm way behind. Wow. Gardini, where did you go? Oh, there you are. Our effing bench is better than half of our starters. It's a joke, and the drought will go on for 16 years. It's true. Gardini, if you were on here more often, you would hear me. I scream, Cabrera, 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 Cabrera. Why is Cabrera not playing in place of these guys, especially DJ? Especially DJ, who's just got over the Mendoza line. He just got over the Mendoza line, which is 200 average for anybody that didn't know that. Just got over it. People are like, well, he had the foot injury. He's been back for almost 80 games. That's not an excuse anymore. But he play. Cabrera's a pretty damn good fielder, too. He can play every position except pitcher and catcher. Cabrera, the other night when we were down 10-2, he came up to bat with 2 outs in the ninth. You would think that he would just swing at anything. He came up as a pinch hitter. No, he worked the walk. The kid takes care of every opportunity he is given. You're down by 8 runs, 2 outs in the ninth. You're dead in the water, and this kid works a walk, gets on base, and the Yankees ended up scoring some runs. Too little, too late. I mean, Trent Grisham ended up hitting the grand slam. Grisham, can you put him in occasionally for Verdugo? Verdugo's a phenomenal outfielder, yes, but so is Trent Grisham. He has a gold glove. He won a gold glove. Guy's no slouch, and he's a pretty good hitter. If you notice Trent Grisham's hitting, when they let him play once every 2 weeks, the guy gets hits. Well, I mean, what's the problem? Oh, man, he sticks to these guys no matter what. And I hate ripping on DJ Gardini. I hate sounding like I'm ripping on the guy because he's been valuable to the Yankees, but the last couple of years, he really hasn't been. This foot problem has been a problem for 2 years now. We've been talking about this for almost 2 years with him. I think it's time. He's 36 years old, is he not? I think he's 36. Cabrera is 25. Trent Grisham should fill in occasionally for Verdugo. Verdugo's been in like a 2-month slump since the All-Star break. It's mind-blowing. I told you guys before, I'm not an Aaron Boone fan. If the boss was alive, he'd have been gone. Bottom of the fifth, first pitch, Swanson flew out to Rizzo, 1 down. 3-0 Yankees still. Luis Gil is throwing a one-hitter to this point. Effing bench read that. Gunner, prevent defenses cost Buffalo a trip to the AFC Championship game in 2021. Yes, sir. And you know the most famous prevent defense screw-up was the Super Bowl in 1987-88 season, I believe. The Bengals lost. Boomer Esiason and the Bengals, Sam Weiss was the coach, lost to the 49ers and Joe Montana on a 2-minute drive because the Bengals went in prevent defense and gave Montana underneath the whole way down the field. You took the pressure off of Joe Montana and decided that giving him time was the better move. All I did was snap, 5-yard pass, 5-yard pass, 5-yard pass, 10-yard pass. Oh, there's John Taylor in the end zone. Boom, touchdown, game over, Super Bowl over. I mean, what that prevent defense? That's one thing I loved about Rex Ryan when the Jets in 09 and 10 when we were good and made championship games. He never took his foot off the gas with them. They blitzed the whole game. He never changed to prevent defenses ever. He stuck with what was working. Whew. Wow, what a revelation. Stuck with what is working. Wow, that's mind-blowing. And when you really think about that, why would you give Joe Montana time to throw the ball? You're rushing 3 guys now, and you drop everybody else in prevent defense, and you're giving up the underneath. Well, first downs and things like that come along when you do that. Especially with the arguably greatest quarterback of all time, which Tom Brady now owns. Joe Montana was 4-0 in Super Bowls, never threw an interception in any one of them. And he played in an era where the quarterback could get murdered. It's why I still sometimes like to give him the edge because it's hard to compare eras, but the quarterback wasn't as protected at all, actually. They weren't protected at all like they are now. And you don't get any bigger than Joe Montana back then. And he could get knocked out in a playoff game, which he did. Been over that a few times already. 3 up, 3 down. Yankees out of the inning already. Luis Gil is a blessing. This guy has been money for most of the season with 2 or 3 bad starts in a row, but that was way back in like the beginning of June. Gradini, I blame Flowers. You should have sat in the wide open spot instead of kept running. I can see your point. I mean, Lamar threw behind him pretty badly, but I see your point. I see your point. He could have just stood there. I mean, I see your point. I mean, Lamar threw way behind him too, but I guess if he was standing there, he would have caught it. Now, you guys all know I like having Aaron Rodgers on the team, but at the time, you guys all know I said I wanted Lamar. The Jets would have gotten at least 6 solid years out of Lamar Jackson. If they had him on this Jets team, it would have been different. But we'll see. We'll see what Rodgers does. I mean, we'll see. But he's the guy I wanted because he would have gave us a lot more years. Zach, I also was playing and made a clean tackle on a guy, just handballed the ball out. Then when I dropped the tackle, go continue playing, this flock from the other team punched me. Yeah, I've seen tempers. The Bulldogs were pushing and shoving at the end when they lost. I'm like, wow, they're showing more fight now than they did all game. Yeah. Right in the guts, and the ump missed it. Yep. And if you had done something back in every sport, the second guy always gets caught. Not the first guy, the second guy always gets caught. Isn't that crazy? One second here, guys. Sorry. All right. Gardini, 20-minute rain delay in football. This is football, not baseball. Get him in the train. Right. Because now everything's about hurt. Everybody's getting hurt. Everything's about hurt. That's the problem, Gardini. Everything is about people getting hurt. Fantasy leagues have to be protected. We can't afford anybody getting hurt, Gardini. It's not football anymore like it used to. Giancarlo Stanton is up right now. Top of the 6th inning. Wow, this game's moving right along, which is good because I'd like a little bit of a break before I call the game tonight. So I would love for this game to be over at 5 o'clock max. It's top of the 6th now. Stanton grounds out the short. The shortstop could tie both shoelaces, adjust his glove, make sure his sunglasses are on properly, then throw to first and still get Stanton by 5 steps. And I know he has a Stanton, and the announcers, nobody rips on him because he's had so many leg problems that nobody says the guy's not hustling. But they say what you see is what you get. It's not that he's not hustling. That's all he's got in the tank at this point. All right, here's Jazz, who's 0 for 2. Batting 6 today. First pitch swinging and ground out to second base. 2 outs already. Gunner, the NFL usually calls for a delay of lightning is cited, so I'm guessing that's what happened. Gunner, now I really sound old. Back in the days, they played through all that crap, man. Muddy fields, grass, rain, snow, lightning, can't see the lines on the field. I mean, the fog game. Did you ever see the fog game? YouTube, Eagles versus the Bears. I believe it was the late 80s, 88, 89. Randall Cunningham was the quarterback for the Eagles. Check out that game. It was a fog, like you can't pea soup fog, and they played. They wouldn't play that now. Too much money's on the line, too many bets. I mean, they bet back then too, but it's just a different world now. That's my point. Check out the fog game. Eagles, Bears. Take a look at that fog, and they played in it. I'm messing, just wanted to see some nasty trench work with Henry and Pacheco. Yep. Pacheco reminds, I know I'm showing my age again. He reminds me of Roger Craig. He high stepping, legs always moving. When he's running, his legs are high stepping the whole way, man. He's moving straight forward. Pacheco's a hard runner, man. I like him. I like his style. He runs hardcore. Roger Craig did that. He would high step through the line, and you could see his legs high stepping the whole way. Rizzo works a walk. Got a man on first, 2 outs. Zach, where'd you go? We also have water boys on the field, too. Yeah, we do, too. I was just kind of breaking balls. I knew they weren't water boys. I just didn't know who they were. So I got you, though. When you said trainers, I've heard that term a lot more than runners from the announcers. Gradini running around with Rivas already took half the field out of equation. So 7 backs to cover 2/3 of the field. No shit, they were successful. Yeah. It's funny when people tell me that Darrelle Revis was overrated. I'm like, when Tom Brady and Peyton Manning don't want to throw to your side in their primes, it says a lot about how great a cover corner you are. 2009, the New York Jets secondary gave up 8 passing touchdowns. 8 from week 1 through the championship game. 8. That's it. There's Jet teams that would give up 8 in one game. I've seen Jet teams that would give up 8 in one game. They gave up 8 the whole season. Darrelle Revis is arguably the greatest cover corner of all time. Deion Sanders says it besides himself. Deion was the greatest cover corner of all time. Revis is up there. You could argue Revis anywhere you want. And he shut down. He played man coverage on all the greats from his era, including Randy Moss. Volpe. Foul ball. I was about to say Volpe comes through. Nope, he didn't. Not yet. Where am I? Dan the Man podcast. Dan the Man. Dan, man, what's going on? Good seeing you in here, brother. How you been, man? You were one of the people on our missing MIA list, man. We have a basement MIA list. You were on it. There you are, Dan. How you been, man? You changed your name again. You changed your channel name again. 2-2 on Volpe. Top of the 6th inning. Yankees winning 3-0. And again, Luis Gil is throwing a 1-hitter. He's got a full count on him now. I hate sounding negative, but watch Volpe strike out to end the inning. Here comes the pitch. Full count. Oh! Volpe called timeout. Yeah, it's funny. Let's see. Buffalo loves 4 linemen, 2 linebackers, 5 defensive backs, usually 3 cornerbacks and 2 safeties. Yeah, Buffalo runs a nice scheme. Man, it sucks you guys lost Matt Milano for the year. Oh, no, I was wrong. Volpe heard me and got wow. Great play by the Cubs center fielder. Great play. He ran that down. I thought that was dropping in. Look at all the pigeons flying away. There is a sea of pigeons right on the field. So we're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Cubs still only have 1 hit. I'm going to stop repeatedly saying that because I'll jinx it. The Giants are running a 5-2-4 or 5-3-3 this year. Multiple looks with athletic playmakers might be exciting this year. Gardini, the Giants are going to do what the Jets did last year. Rely heavily on that great defense. The Giants have a great defense. Burns was a tremendous pickup. I mean, you already have Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence, man. The Giants have a great defense. That offense has to keep them off the field. That was the problem. Jets won 7 games last year, mainly because of their defense. But when you have them putting on the field, like the games the Jets did get blown out in, is because the offense would turn the ball over on their own, 15-yard line. To where the Jets defense had to come back on the field, and the end zone is it's right there where that Yankee jersey is. Guys, you think you can make sure they don't get to there? I mean, I don't care what defense you are. You get on the field a long time. I said it the other day, guys. Remember the game the Buffalo Bills blew the Jets out in the 2nd game of the season? The Jets were on the field in the first quarter for over 11 minutes out of 15 minutes, over 11 minutes, because the offense kept turning the ball over, including the fumble, which Gunnar brought up yesterday. How are you supposed to survive when your defense in the first quarter is already on the field over 11 minutes? That is shameful. Zach, damn, ain't nobody getting a pass off in that defensive formation, and even if they do, they won't get far with the small team. That's not that big over here. I'm D-line and tight end. Yep. It's a great defensive scheme. The New York Giants have a very, very good defense, and they're going to have to carry that team. Unless Daniel Jones comes out and gives us something no one's ever seen. In his defense, though, he got injured last year. In his defense, though, his first year under Dable, he only threw 7 picks. His turnovers went down a lot, and he made the playoffs. So let's see. I'm trying to stay positive. Trying to stay positive for the Giants. And I don't care about the interceptions he threw in preseason. You know, people are saying, like, Christian McCaffrey should never play a preseason game again. He doesn't need to be in preseason games. He wouldn't have gotten the catch. And I get all that, and I agree with it. But the same media that says that Aaron Rodgers ripped on Aaron Rodgers for 2 months because he didn't show up to minicamp and how that's going to hurt the team. And he should play in a preseason game. Why? The guy's been in the league 20 years. He didn't need to play in preseason. Could you imagine if Robert Saleh played Rodgers in a preseason game and he got hurt and missed? Forget about the season. You know, what if he missed 4 or 5 games even? He would be slayed for putting him in there. That's just dumb. Preseason, to me, should be for players that are trying to make the team, trying to make the roster, not for veterans that know what they're doing. Gardini, well, since the 1st of July, has been the most valuable catcher in baseball and the best hitting catcher in the sport as well. Amen. That goes back to my question. Why? I don't even dislike Trevino, but why, when Trevino came off injury, why is Aaron Boone playing him at catcher 3 out of the next 5 games when Austin Wells is hitting? We need bats. Can't keep relying on Juan Soto and Aaron Judge to do everything. You can't. Wells started hitting, and then you benching him to put a guy in Trevino who could never hit, but is a great defensive catcher, yes. I don't get it. Look at Heel. Heel is still mowing him down. Gave up 1 hit so far. Zach, I stay up for NFL games. They usually start at 2:30 in the morning here. Oh. Dude, I was fighting to stay up to midnight last night. That's why guys like Manav have it made, man. The night games in the NFL start at 5:30 in the afternoon for him. But yeah, I'm going to do the game tonight. I'll be on. It'll probably start around 8:30 because I'll probably do some sort of ceremonies because it's in Brazil, which still is very weird to me. So, Dan, what's up with the podcast name, man? You went from Bills King Mafia to Thunder Dan to Dan the Man now. All right, well, he's off the MIA list. We still got Rick the Ninja, Truba Train. We haven't seen him in a while. Turbo, haven't seen him. Dan the Man, you're off the list. You are accounted for now. Gunnar, what's up? Zach, it really was all the local games. People would park their cars alongside the oval behind the boundary sponsor banners and honk their horns at the team. Wow, that's funny. That's funny, man. That's cool. Gardini, it pisses me off because DJ was my favorite player for 3 years straight. It's pain. Gardini, I know you've just started coming back around. These guys will tell you I've said that every day. I hate sounding like I'm ripping on DJ. But you can't manage with your heart. Aaron Boone cannot manage with his heart. DJ LeMahieu is not hitting. He's batting 9th in the order. He's not getting clutch hits. Yeah, against the Phillies, he had that 6 RBI game. Great. What did he do for the 2 months before that and the 2 months since then? He has gotten just now over the Mendoza line like 2 weeks ago. The guy is not hitting. I hate sounding like it too. He's a last player. Guy comes to play. He can play every position. He's been a great Yankee for a long time, but you can't manage with your heart. Aaron Boone is managing with his heart. Cabrera this kid is raring to go. He's our new utility guy. They should never get rid of Oswaldo Cabrera. Should never get rid of him. He should never be getting rid of. Ever. He's 25. He should be on the Yankees forever as our bench guy forever. How many guys can you get that's a switch hitter and can play every position except pitcher and catcher? How many guys are you going to get like that? Not many. Johnny, dating back to June 1st, Alex Verdugo is the worst qualified hitter in Major League Baseball. Huh. You ain't kidding. He's going to be one and done. I'm told, Gardini, I don't know if you were in here yet or not, but I said this guy would have been DFA'd already had he not been for his great fielding. The guy has been pretty accurate throwing people out. He ran into the wall face first last week going after a fly ball. He died. He does all the great things in the outfield. He's got a great arm, and that's what saved him from being DFA'd. I guarantee you they would have DFA'd him. They didn't. You know who else is trash, by the way? Mark Leiter. Why is he still coming out of the bullpen? Mark Leiter has over a 6 ERA in the 15 games that he's been pitching for us. De Los Santos, they booted him after 2 weeks. 2 weeks of having him. They booted him. Mark Leiter, man, I don't understand why this guy is still coming out of the bullpen. It's a merry-go-round on the bases when he comes out. Up and down the merry-go-round. That's the song that plays when Mark Leiter comes out of the bullpen. Up and down the merry-go-round. That's the song in the background. That's what his entrance song should be. Because that's what they do. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, give me a break, man. Is it up and down the merry-go-round or all around the merry-go-round? You get the point. It's something like that. So, yeah, Verdugo's been trashed, but he keeps playing him. You pinch in Trent Grisham the other night, and he's a good fielder. Can you at least play Grisham a couple games a week? Give Verdugo a break. It's not like you're putting some trash outfielder out there to replace him. Craziest animal moment in footy history was when someone somehow got an elephant onto the field. And we're sitting here complaining about a school of pigeons out there in the outfield. Every time a ball goes out there, the guy's going to try to catch the ball. There's a whole sea of pigeons, school of pigeons going up in his face. How is that even possible? It's true. It's true, Bruin. It's got to be true. I mean, Zach says it, man. It's happening over there. It's got to be true. Live elephant onto the field. Is it Crocodile Dundee? I mean, like, how do you pull that off? Nothing better than a good old-fashioned footy brawl. Yeah, I've seen a couple of those, man. I've seen a couple of those. I did a piece on Lee Matthews, Zach. That guy was nuts. And I know he was the Brisbane coach for for those premierships, man, back in the early 2000s. This was back in like the 70s. They still don't know how. Yeah, that wouldn't be pulled off today. Someone was riding and they still haven't found their identity. Nice. All right, Verdugo's up. It's already 0-2. Top of the 7th inning. This game's only an hour and a half old. Right in the 7th. Gardini, I'm not hating on Giancarlo. He's our third at worst, fourth best hitter, and is the X factor in this lineup. Wants to perform. You got to give Giancarlo a lot of credit, Gardini. He said in the offseason he was embarrassed by his batting average last year. He was embarrassed about not doing it, just not getting it done. He's hitting like 240, right? 234, something like that. That's like 300 for him. That's like 300 for him. He's got 23 or 24 home runs. Stanton's been playing. Stanton has been playing. I give him a lot of credit this year. So, yeah, he's definitely like – remember, there's a couple times people intentionally walk Judge to get to Stanton. Of course you would. Anybody would. But they paid for it. Stanton a couple times hit 3-run bombs. I mean, they made him pay. Because our cleanup hitters weren't making anybody pay. We had the worst cleanup hitting percentage in the league. That's how it shows you how much greater Judge really is. You had nobody batting behind him. That's why I don't agree with the Ohtani should get MVP because he had no. Aaron Judge is batting with nobody behind him to be scared of for most of this season. The Yankees had the worst cleanup percentage in the game, regardless of who's been there. Do I have any questions about Aussie rules? I'll be your encyclopedia, bro. I might. Can't think of any off the top of my head, Zach, but I probably have some things written down here. I'll check it in a minute because there are some things that happen during the games that I'm not totally sure of. I'll tell you my favorite play in the sport, though. I'm an encyclopedia with this stuff, by the way, Zach. When I get into something sports-wise, I go all in. I try to learn as much as I can, as quickly as I can, but sometimes I overwhelm myself and then I forget things. But the Specky, Zach, the Specky is the greatest move in any sport I've ever seen. The Specky is the greatest move in any sport. For you to be able, guys like Gunnar Gardini, in footy, you can run up to a defenseman to get the ball, right? Just picture a wide receiver jumping up for a ball and the D-back jumping both knees on his shoulders like he's piggybacking them. Both knees on his shoulder, reach way up in the air and get that ball. And it's legal. It is the greatest move in sport, in any sport that I watch. That Specky is my favorite move. That move's incredible, Zach. Nothing tops it. There's no move in a sport that tops that. And it's ballsy too, man, because these guys get that ball and they go down to the ground hard. That Specky is incredible. Juan Soto's up with 2 outs, 1-0 count. Top of the 7th inning, still 3-0 Yankees. And because of our bullpen, I don't like a 3-0 lead. And by the way, Aaron Boone finally said that Holmes isn't going to be our everyday closer anymore. Wow, really? Just figuring that out now? Giving up walk-off grand slams? I mean, you're just figuring that out now? This should have been done months ago. So they're going to do it by committee. How about, like David Cohn was saying the other day, why not try Tommy Kahnle there for a little while? He's your most experienced reliever, and he brings some pretty good stuff, man. And he doesn't get rattled. Tommy Kahnle's been in the league a little while. He doesn't get rattled. Try him. Jake Cousins has a wicked slider, man. Every time he comes in, he has a 1.8 ERA out of the bullpen. He's one of our better guys. Luke Weaver. Try some of these guys. Luke Weaver looks like he's 12 years old, by the way. He's like 30. I think if he didn't shave for 2 months, you wouldn't notice. Soto. Back to the warning track. Back. He got it. Not hating. Let me catch up. Where the hell am I? You know, it's funny. I turned on this game at 2:20. I didn't really know how many people I was going to get in here on a Friday afternoon. And now I'm like reading novels today. So this is awesome. I'm glad you guys all showed up. Yeah, Zach, I'll think of some stuff, man. I got to think a little bit about it, man. I get overwhelmed in here, man. And I'll forget. I'll ask a question and someone will answer it, and I don't even know what they're talking about. I forget I even asked it. There was a snow game in 2017 between the Bills and the Colts. Yep. And there should be. I love the snow games, man. That's awesome. I loved when they had the Super Bowl at MetLife. I was praying for a snowstorm. Zach, or Australia in general. Australia looks like an awesome country, man. It's beautiful. I've seen a lot of photos of it. I actually have a pretty good Australian following in here, Zach. You should come in here tonight, man. You'll see some of the guys way back in Bond and Flex. I haven't seen Flex in a while. I should DM him, man. He's in the Discord. I should DM him. Zach, you should join the Discord with us, man. Let me get the Discord link for you, Zach. Got a lot of guys in there with footy, man. There you go, Zach. There's the Discord link right there, buddy. And Dan the Man, you should go in there too, bro. Dan the Man, I am good, Johnny. Yes, I had to. Long story short, are you free to talk football on a Tuesday in the next week or two? Probably not, man. I'm all over this channel, Dan. I'll get in touch with you though, man. We'll see. But I can't guarantee it, man. I'm all over this channel right now, man. Trying to really boost up the views, man. The views. I was off for 2 months, man. So I'm like all in on this right now. All in, even doing afternoon Yankee games and doing the football game tonight and uploading the Australian Football League playoffs. I'm doing like multiple things on this channel right now. I'm basement busy. Basement busy. Here's Jake Cousins now. Okay, I was wrong. He has a 2.7 ERA, but the opponent's batting average is 171 against him. So now this is a guy that comes out of the bullpen I'm completely fine with. You know who I miss? Jonathan Loizaga, man. He's been out like all year. He hurt himself in like the first week of April or something. He's been out. He must have had some nasty elbow. Did he need Tommy John? Gardini, what happened to Loizaga, man? Did he end up getting Tommy John? He was a guy like we couldn't afford to lose. Tommy John's an elbow surgery, Zach, if you didn't know what we're talking about. And he was a pitcher for the Yankees at one time. But he was the first one to try the Tommy John surgery, which is like elbow repair, tendons repairs and things like that. Gardini could probably break it down way better than me. I know what they do, but it takes like a year and a half to come back from that. Sometimes longer. Ask Jacob deGrom. Yeah, the mile high and the no fly, right? Oh, he used to play softball. Nice. Had a running record of a home run a week for 7 weeks straight. The Yankees could use you right now. We could use you in the 7th, 8th, or 9th slot in the order. Bernard is a great replacement for Milano, at least. It is, but Milano, you know what I'm saying. Milano, the leadership he brings is second to none for that team, man. And I'm a Jet fan. We know all about losses, huge losses, man. Milano played, 5 games last year? It's not good, man. Guys are beast. I wonder what the nice conversations they're going to have, him and Mike White, now that Mike White's on your team. I'll always pull for Mike White, unless he comes in against the Jets, but I'll always pull for him. You guys should be thrilled that you have him on your team. At least you have a guy that's going to be a fighter. He's going to fight to get off that practice squad. He's going to fight for that backup role, man. I don't know if he's going to get it. But you guys know when you get Mike White in the game, you're getting 110%. Yep, Sydney versus GWS in 9 hours. That 9 hours is 2 a.m. here. So I'll be in sleepy land in 9 hours. By week 6, Daniel Jones will be seated and the backup will play. That's Drew Lock. Drew Lock is the backup, Dan. Drew Lock. For legal reasons, you had to change the name. From what? Bills King Mafia or Thunder Dan? Which one? That's interesting. Well, we're happy to see you back regardless, Dan. We're happy to see you back. We have a little list of MIAs, man. Yeah, that I knew. I have a couple of good followers, and when I upload videos for footy, I have a couple of people that are really helpful in there, and they tell me these things I didn't know. That move is still the greatest move, Zach, in sports. There's not a better move than the Specky. That is just amazing that you're allowed to do that. And these guys come up. I can see them running, and I'm see them ready, and I'm like, come on, bring it. I want to see that. That drew me in right there, that Specky. OG of OGs, Mr. Marine, none the cellar dweller accounted for. What's going on, Mr. Marine? JB on the daytime. How's everyone doing? Yes, sir. I'll be here tonight too, Mr. Marine. I told you I might squeeze this game in today. I didn't want to promise it to you guys. I hate promising you guys I'll be on, and then I end up not coming on, which I haven't done that in a while. And you guys know every summer that most of June and all of July I'm not on because we got the grandkids here. So that's every year, but I didn't, I'm all in. And I always appreciate you guys still being there when I come back in August, because there's some channels, man, if people disappear for whatever I'm gone, 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, people don't come back. You guys have been loyal as hell, and I appreciate it because we have fun here, just hanging out. All right, so we got a man on first, 1 out. Yankees up 3-zip. Jake Cousins on the mound. I'm completely comfortable with Jake Cousins on the mound. Now he said Holmes isn't going to be the everyday closer. I wonder if he's going to put him out there today. If that's the case, we need 19 more runs. 19, not 18, not 20, 19. Gunnar, I have a question about Australia. What is it like living in a place where everything wants to kill? I also learned, too, that if you walk around barefoot in some places, the bottom of your feet will melt. It's that hot. Gradini, Johnny here, stat of the 21-23 OPP batting average against Clay Holmes. 130 batting average, 2024. Homer's sinker has a 330 batting average. 21-23, they had a 130 batting average against Tom. Yeah, and he wasn't the closer, right? 2024. Didn't they have Michael King closing games for a little while then? I don't think Holmes was the everyday. You know what's funny about Holmes too, Godini? When he comes in a tie game, he doesn't blow them. If it's 3-3 or whatever, 1-2-3, they're out. But when he comes in and has to save 1 run or even 3 runs, it's like, I say this every time, and I hate that I'm right almost every time. He'll get the first batter, he'll get them out. The next batter will be a 15-pitch affair where it goes to a full count. Then he walks him, and he'll get on first. Then we have some weird grounder in the infield that nobody can seem to manage. And then the guy overthrows first base, and now he runs over to third. Now we got first and third with 1 out. It happens all the time. And then the next hit he gives up is a gap shot to where everybody gets home. Or right down the line into the corner. It's unbelievable, man. And it's every time. Jazz, to Glaber. Oh, he beat it out. Horner beat it out. That was a double play ball happening right there. All right, well, we got the lead runner out anyway at second. Jazz has been playing decent at third base, man. And Ben Rice, by the way, Gardini, that's who I was trying to think of. Gardini. Ben Rice. Great. You had 3 home runs against the Red Sox. Wonderful. Did nothing since then. And Cabrera's still on the bench. Ben Rice is getting all this time at first base, and he's a catcher by trade. And Cabrera's on the bench. It's mind-blowing, Gardini. It's mind-blowing. Ben Rice was hitting like 180. And he's getting all this playing time at first. And then they'd take him out for defensive purposes. For DJ would come in for him when they wanted to start playing Jazz at third. And Cabrera's on the bench. Oh, it freaking eats me alive, man. Mr. Marine, how we doing? Yep, he tore the UCL, so at best May of 25. Yeah, I knew it was something because they had him on a 60-day DL. I was thinking about him the other day, Gardini, and I'm like, Loaisiga's got to be out for the year. I haven't heard any updates from Michael K or anybody, so I figured he was. Yeah, it sucks, man. I like Loaisiga. All right, 0-2, bottom of the 7th inning, 2 outs. Man on first. Bearded Danny over here. You're funny, Gardini. 14 hours to the Brisbane. I can't wait for the Brisbane game. I'm up for that one, man. That is the game. That's my team, Zach. Lions, that's my team. There it is, brother. Charlie Cameron, there it is. Yes, sir. Oh, come on. See, stealing second base. We overthrow. They should just not bother throwing to second base. Whew. Boy, that was a terrible throw from Wells. Glaber, what are you doing? There's nobody at second. Boy, oh boy. They had that made no sense. No sense what just happened there. It's weird seeing JB in the daytime. Doesn't feel right, but it's good no matter what. Just saying. Thanks, Mr. Marine. I know it felt weird getting on now because I'm like, well, I'm coming on tonight to do the game anyway. But then I was talking to Rock, and I'm like, you know what? I said I'd be more she said to be more consistent on here, and I said, you're right. I'm going on. So here I am. I would have been sitting right there. Right there. I would have been sitting there watching the game anyway, so why not be on? Look, I didn't even light it up back there. It's daytime. I can't remember the last time I was on during the day, but you might as well get used to it because the NFL season's back. I'm doing every Jet game and other big games that are going on. I'll do some Giants games. I'll do some Buffalo Bill games because the Jets are on national TV like 7 times this before Halloween. That's scary. It's like an interactive WFAN. Funny. Yeah. Mr. Marine, yes, east end of the world temperature are hotter than hell. Yep, people there are strong to take that heat. Well, that's Zach right here. Zach is in here, man. That's where he's from. Zach, like I said, you come on here tonight, you'll see all the other guys, man, from there, way back, and Bon, and like I said, Flex is MIA. Flex is on the MIA list. I don't know where he's been either. I mean, it's not as bad as people say, depending on where you live. I've barely seen a snake in the wild. Kangaroos put their arms on your shoulder, use your tail to make them stable, and they kick you. Yeah, I'd probably just avoid that situation altogether. But I hear you. Mr. Marine, can't stand FAN anymore. It's horrible. I listened to FAN growing up, Mike and the Mad Dog, and then, of course, Joe Beningo. The only thing great about a Jets loss is listening to Joe Beningo. But he's retired too. Schnozzy, snoozy, schmoozy. Another cellar dweller accounted for. What's going on, man? What's happening, brother? Yep, I'm on during the day. Oh, yeah, and Mike Francesa also. Yep, and he left too. All the big dogs left, man. I listen to Mad Dog Russo channel, Adam Shine in the morning and Russo in the afternoon. I listen to them. They're really good. Both of them are really good. I like listening to them. Koalas, they may look cute, but they sound like demons. Oh, man. I stay away from all of it. Aaron Judge up, top of the 8th inning, still 1-0. Excuse me. It's 1-0 on Judge, still 3-0. Top of the 8th. Look at that, man. We're barely 2 hours into this game, and it's almost over. That's where I like the pitch clock has never bothered me. I thought it was going to be a bother. But now that they sped the game up with the pitch clock, and it's worked out well, get rid of the ghost runner in the extra innings. You don't need that ghost runner in extra innings anymore. I can't stand that. It's cheesy, man. Putting an automatic runner on second base when he didn't earn it, I don't like that. I never will. That is just you took care of it with the pitch clock. You don't need that runner anymore. You should check out Coyote Peterson reacting to snakes milking its crate. Oh my gosh. Aussie snakes, Eastern brown snakes are the worst, and they are heaps aggressive. Yep, you can have all of that, Zach. You can have all of that. Judge popped up. And thank goodness he got foul ball. Also, I haven't heard of feet melting from being barefoot on hot asphalt. We have huge alcohol lifestyle. One thing Bogans do is that they get a goon bag, which is a boxed wine. Yeah, someone in here said that it's like not your feet melt, but like the skin literally can burn to where you can see the soles of your feet, like the red meat under that skin. It's like right there. I mean, like in the Mojave Desert here and some of the truck stops that I was at, there was over 125, 130 degrees, man. I wouldn't want to go out of that truck in bare feet on that pavement. That's just common sense. So 2-2 on Judge right now. Nobody out, nobody on base. Judge is 1 for 2, and he just struck out. Tried to check his swing, but he couldn't do it. Struck out. 1 out, top of the 8th. I better not see Holmes warming up at all. At all. We don't need any more walk-off grand slams. They attach it back to the clothesline, then you spin it, and whoever lands on it has. Wow. No, he didn't hit a home. No, he didn't hit a home run. He hit a ball down the line, which scored Gleyber Torres. That was the first run of the game, Snazzy Schnazzy. Yeah, we got the 3 runs in 1 inning. Gleyber led off with a walk. Juan Soto got a single. Judge got a double, which scored Torres. Soto was on third. Judge was on second. Austin Wells came up and hit a gap shot, and Judge and Soto came home. That's what made it 3-0, and it's been that way ever since. Luis Gil had a no-hitter up until the fifth inning. He threw 1 hit. Luis Gil looked great, threw 1 hit, and that's where we're at, 3-0. The game's been moving right along. Bruin, did you check out the Flyers Canadians pregame brawl I posted on Discord? Not yet, but I did see it, and I have it right here. I was so fascinated by the jersey that you sent, man. That was awesome. One second here. Bear with me here a second, guys. All right, where are we at? All right, so it's full count on Wells, 1 out, nobody on. Judge already struck out. Well, let's see, hold on. And he walked him. Good. Wells going – because if they even thinks about bringing Holmes in, we need to score 10 more runs immediately. Schnazzy, okay, because I bet on him to hit a home run the past 5 to 6 games, so I was like, I hope he doesn't hit one as soon as I don't bet on him. Well, as long as the Yankees don't blow this game, he may not get another at-bat. Here's Stanton now. He might. I mean, if they get a few hits this inning, he might get back up. Yeah, right? You bet him 5, 6 games in a row, he doesn't get a home run, and then today he'll hit like 3. No, he didn't get a home run, though. He's 1 for 3 now. Stanton's 0 for 2. Stanton, double play. Inning over, double play. Stanton grounded out into a double play. Chicago still only has 1 hit. 1 hit. That's it. Gunnar, watching the ending to the game yesterday makes me think of the other loss by an inch moments. Mike Jones' tackle of Kevin Dyson, the Super Bowl 34 would be the best one. And you know what? The one last night was way closer than the Kevin Dyson one, because when you really watch the Kevin Dyson one, he was already going down. Like, you knew he was short. You knew he was going to be short. I think the one last night, well, that was, of course, in the Super Bowl. That'll be the best one ever because it was in the Super Bowl. But I'll tell you the biggest flop. The year Elway brought the team back, the 2-minute warning, they brought the team back in the AFC Championship game in 1986 against the Browns. when Elway brought him all the way down the field in that 2-minute drill, took the Broncos to the Super Bowl. The next year they met again in the AFC Championship game, and Ernest Biner, 1987, was the running back for the Browns. They handed off to him. He went right up the gut at the goal line, got in the end zone, and the Browns were cheering because they were going to go to the Super Bowl, except Biner fumbled on the goal line. He fumbled the ball on the goal line. Look it up. Ernest Biner. They had Kevin Mack back there also. Bernie Kosar was their quarterback. Webster Slaughter was their wide receiver. That was your 1987, 86, 87 Cleveland Browns. Yep. Ernest Biner fumbled that in the end zone. You can look it up. You'll feel horrendous for that guy now. You saw his whole body go in the end zone. They're like, oh, the Browns are going to the Super Bowl. Whoop, he fumbled the ball on the goal line. Awful. That's probably the most painful one for a player that I could think of. Where am I at? Oh, I just passed Gunner. I would take Cabrera over Rice or DJ any day. Yes, I scream this every day. Every day I scream this. Why is Oswaldo Cabrera on the bench and Ben Rice and his freaking 189 batting average playing every day? And DJ LeMahieu playing every day, barely hitting 200. Oswaldo Cabrera is sitting on the bench, rotting away. You got a kid that comes on and plays his butt off every time he gets an opportunity to play. Like I said the other night, the Yankees were losing 10-2 in the ninth inning with 2 outs. Most players would just give up. They let Cabrera get an at-bat, and he worked a walk. He worked that at-bat like the Yankees were down by 1 run, not 8. At a time when most players would have just not cared or struck out or just went through the motions of having to be at bat to end the game. And he didn't. He worked the walk, man. This kid, and he's rotting away on the bench under Aaron Boone. Doesn't make any sense at all, man. Just doesn't. Oswaldo Cabrera should be playing a lot more. That Elway drive is legendary, no doubt. So we got Tommy Kahnle in the bottom of the 8th. I think this guy should get some shots at closing games. He should get some shots at closing games. He really should. I agree with David Cohn. Not that he needs my approval, but but he said it's true. He's 34. He's the most experienced guy in the bullpen, and he's not going to get rattled when he goes out there in the 9th inning. He's not. Ground out to Rizzo. Got it to Kahnle. They just got him. Good cover on the bag. It was a sharp ground out to Rizzo. He kind of bobbled it a little bit. But he recovered and got the out. We can't give up any runs. I don't know. They haven't shown the bullpen yet. I don't know if Holmes is in there or not. You remember watching that fumble, not live, but on yeah, that is bad. You guys could YouTube that Ernest Biner fumble. You'll feel awful for him. And that was the second year in a row the Browns played the Broncos in the championship game. Marty Schottenheimer was the coach of both of those. What a great coach, but he could never get past John Elway. I'm trying to think if this question is right or not, so bear with me. 1, 2, 3. I think I'm right on this question. You Bills fans might want to know this, but I want to make sure I'm right. Pretty sure this guy lost 4 Super Bowls also. Let's see. I've seen that play. It's called famously known as the fumble. Yes, sir. That is probably the most egregious heartbreaking play in football history. I know there's others, but that's arguably one of them. I don't know how you get much worse than that. There was a guy in the Cowboys, I forget his name, but he dropped like a game-winning touch. Not a game. I don't know if it was a game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl, but he dropped one in there. I don't remember the guy's name. It was like from the 70s. Zach, how hard was watching the butt fumble as a Jets supporter? You know what, man? It's kind of ruined Sanchez's career because that particular Jets team went to the championship game that year. That was a great Jets team. The problem, that was blown up so much more because it was Thanksgiving night. It was on national TV. Had that been a 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon game, it might not have been as blown up, but so many people saw it. I don't really care about it anymore, Zach. I care about getting a freaking ring. And when people say, oh, you guys are the New Jersey Jets or you play, I don't care if we play in Barrow, Alaska. I want a freaking ring. I don't care where we play. I don't care about anything else. I want that Super Bowl. That's where I'm at with this team. Yankee Kyle, another cellar dweller accounted for. Yankees in the basement. What's going on, man? Good to see you in here, brother. Flex. Another one off the MIA list. Flex is in the basement, man. Another cellar dweller accounted for. Another Aussie representing the basement. What's going on, Flex? 6:30 a.m. Saturday. Can't sleep. Well, here we are, Flex. I'll be back on again in a few hours. This game is almost over, but Clay Holmes hasn't touched the mound yet, and he better not. Look at this. Canley's already got the first two batters out. Nobody on. Bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees up 3-0. How you been, Flex? A few of you guys showed up on this afternoon. This is good, man. This is good. And by the way, Zach, the Jets have had many of embarrassing moments. That's just one of many I can name. One of many embarrassing plays and moments. There's endless embarrassing, shameful plays through the history of my 4 decades as a fan. Look at that. 3 up, 3 down for Tommy Canley. Look at that. Why is this guy not closing? I have not seen anybody warming up. Clay Holmes better not come in this game with a 3-run lead. I can't. I felt bad for the Browns till they got Watson. I can't root for them while he's on the yeah. And what jerks they were, paying him all that money. Deshaun Watson has been a waste of space for the Browns. He hasn't played that well. Flacco played better than him. And that was the other funny thing. When we were talking about quarterbacks and how they just rag on the Jets no matter what. When they brought up what Flacco was doing on the Browns and the Jets, see, they get rid of these guys. The Jets didn't have an offensive line. That's why Flacco didn't do well with the Jets, and he's an older quarterback. And when you don't have a line, and you have a line that gives up 63 sacks on the season and start over 20 different lineups, over 20 different linemen, 16 different combinations on that line for that season, if Flacco was going to be the savior? No, that's just ragging on it. That's just lazy analyzing at that point by the media and by guys that are really good in the media normally. That's just lazy. Let's just attack the Jets again. Look at Flacco. Look what he's doing on the Browns. He's got a lot better situation on the Browns. He wouldn't have done that on the Jets, and he didn't do it on the Jets because he had no line. It's common sense. Like, are we going that deep in the hate? It's amazing. Yeah. I usually don't root for the Browns either, but they're on they got a really good defense too. Gunner, he's numb to the pain at this point. Yeah. Like when I mentioned the Jersey Jets, they're the only team misrepresenting where they play. There's plenty of teams that misrepresent where they play. The San Francisco 49ers play near San Jose, which is 75 miles south of San Francisco. The Jets are less than 10 miles from New York. Technically, yes, they play in New Jersey. The Washington Commanders play in Maryland. The Dallas Cowboys play in Arlington. But only the Jets get picked on for being in Jersey. I don't care where they play. I want the Super Bowl. And Patriot fans make a big deal out of them playing in New Jersey because they hate the fact that the Giants beat them twice. And that really wasn't New York. Yeah, it's New York, dude. I mean, we can call tri-state area Jets if you want, Giants. At least the Jets were around that they could use them as a punching bag because they lost to the Giants twice. It's just the way it is. Jazz is up, top of the ninth. Everybody, that we need at least 10 more runs. They have not shown anybody in the bullpen yet. Jazz is 0 for 3, 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Shinazi, hopefully he plays worse than Russell Wilson with the Broncos the last 2 years, so they'll replace Watson. Wilson just, I think he did get the starting job for the Steelers. I think he is starting over Fields. I think so. I think he is. Yeah, Flex is back. That's 2 guys off the MIA list today. Dan the Man and Flex. 2 guys off the MIA list. Although I have spoken to Flex in the DMs. I'm just talking about being actually in the live chat. So that's 2 down. So we still have, let's see here. Turbo. Rick the Ninja. Who else did we say is missing? Truba. Who else? Turbo, Rick the Ninja, Truba. Gardini's back. We got him off the list. Dan the Man showed up today. Flex is here. There's a couple of the guys we mentioned. Lockport's been here. Who the hell else did we mention? There was 2 other guys. We had like 6. Now we claimed 2 today. All right, Rizzo's up. Come on, Rizzo, back in Chicago, hit a home run. Back in Chicago, hit a home run. All the Cubs fans will cheer for you. Mikhailov, boom, that was another one. Yeah, where the heck has Mikhailov been? I haven't even seen him in the comments on the footy stuff, which is weird. Yeah, I don't know where he's been either. I've been back on for over a month now. So, all right, 1 and 2 on Rizzo. Work that count. We need runs. That's just the easiest thing to do. Blame the quarterback in the mainstream media when it comes to Flacco and the Jets, right? And Geno Smith, Snazzy. I bring that up all the time. Geno's 9 years off the Jets, but they make fun of the Jets not being able to develop quarterbacks, which is true. I don't ever deny that they've been a train wreck with developing quarterbacks. But when a guy leaves and it's 9 years later, he's playing really well, they say, oh, look at the Jets. They couldn't even figure that out. Maybe we should keep Sam Darnold for 9 more years and Zach 9 more years. And, a few of these guys, maybe we should keep guys for 10 years and then say they're no good. It's just it's lazy analysis. So the Chargers didn't recognize it, and the Giants didn't recognize it either, and Seattle didn't recognize it when he was backing up Russell Wilson, which he would anyway. But there's a couple other teams involved here that didn't recognize it either in that scenario. The Washington Commies. That is such a terrible name, the Commanders. I have to say, the Washington Football Club sounded better. Like, you had 2 years to think of a name, which I never understand. Like, it's the Utah Hockey Club now. It's the new Utah, the Arizona Coyotes are now the Utah Hockey Club. Like, is it that hard to think of a name? And so we really want to put a lot of thought into this. Dude, you could have, like, your local schools around your area pick out a name for your team. I mean, have fans pick out it. What is so hard? They had the Utah Glaciers was floated around. The Glaciers doesn't sound so bad. That's kind of relative to Utah. I mean, like, what is so hard about figuring out a name for a team? And then you come up with Commanders after 2 years. Commanders. It's a Pee Wee League name. Like the New Orleans Pelicans. That is a terrible name, too, the Pelicans. And the Anaheim Ducks is still like, you're a grown man playing on a team named the Ducks. Like, it's like, this is just very poor thought in the names. Oh, what a play. Volpe's too fast for that. Great stab by the shortstop, man. Wow. Shortstop for the Cubs just did a full stretch. Swanson did a full stretch to his backhanded side and got it. That was a great play. He didn't throw it because Volpe's too fast. He wouldn't have gotten him. A lot of runners he may have gotten, though. That was a beautiful play. All right, enough on bigging up the other team. Manning to Manningham in the final quarter of the 2011 Super Bowl was insane. Absolute perfection of a pass. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Manningham. He was a solid receiver for the Giants, man. Good shout out on that name, Zach. And Plexico Burris back then, too. Here's Verdugo. 2 outs, 1 on. Come on, Verdugo, man. Just hit a 2-run homer. It's been a while. Flex, I'm MIA for everything these days. You're all right in here, Flex. You come in here, relax, and we'll be back on in, what time is it now? I'll be back on in like 3 hours for the Eagles and Packers tonight. The game says it starts at 8:15. It probably won't start till 8:30 because they probably have to do some opening celebrations for being in another country. The NFL is the only league that drags the opening day out forever. Is it me? Maybe I'm getting older. I don't know. It's just annoying to me after a while. Last night I was on for like over 40 minutes before the game even started. I don't want to do that again tonight. Don't make me wait 40 minutes for this game to start because the NFL just goes above and beyond when it comes to these openings, man. All right, it's 1-2 on Verdugo. Man on first, 2 out. Top of the 9th. Come on, man. Just get 1 run. Just get somebody home. All right, Verdugo's working the count. He's fouling off a lot of balls. Love Russell Wilson. I wish he didn't drop off a cliff. It would have made the AFC West so much more fun. Yeah, because like the Chiefs don't have any – not that – they don't have any competition. Listen, the Chiefs are a great team. They probably win the division anyway, but they don't have any competition. The Chargers, didn't the Chargers lose to the Raiders last year like 63-20-something? Didn't they? Wasn't there a game last year toward the end of the season when the Chargers, didn't they lose like 63? I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. You don't forget scores like that. They have the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Broncos. Like, they have no competition in there at all. I got to look this up now. I guarantee you, 2023 schedule. There it is. There it is. Thursday, December 14th at Las Vegas. They lost 63-20. Oh, I nailed the score too. 63-21 to the Raiders. 63-21. The Chargers went out on a 5-game losing streak to end the season last year. And if you really want to go far, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They won 1 game in their final 9. They went 1 for 8 in their final 9 games. Verdugo got a hit. Verdugo got a hit. We got first and second, and Volpe's on second. He's fast. Someone gets a base hit now, he can score. Wow. Wow, go figure, man. Since I'm on this, I want to check something out. I want to say, I keep saying this on the chat a lot about something about the Jets, and now I'm actually going to I'm going to fact check myself on something. I don't want 2024. Hold on. All right, here's Glaber, man, on first and second. Let's see what we got here. I'm spending way too much time on this now. Way too much time being spent on this. You guys know when I get locked in on something, I need to know. Maybe I should type it in this way. Still fouled it off. He's still working the count. It's 3-1. 3-1 on Gleyber. First and second. This is good with 2 outs. He just flew out. All right. I got to get off this. I'm spending too much. I got to fact check myself because I say this thing all the time, and now I'm not sure if I'm even right on it. Why can't I find this? I'm going to ask one of you guys to look this up. I can't, for whatever reason, I cannot find this. I forget it. Forget it. I'm spending too much time. Forget it. I'll look it up. I'll look it up in between games. Georgia Bulldog hasn't been around. Nobody. You're right. Bulldog's another one. I did comment on his page. Bulldog. So we got Turbo, Rick the Ninja, Trouba, Mikhailov, Bulldog. Yep, Mikhailov, Gunner already said that. Guardians is another. Yeah, Guardians is another bad one. It's another bad one. And it took like a year to figure that one out. All right, guys, we're going to the bottom of the 9th inning. Let's see who's on the mound. OG Cellar Dweller, another Marine representing the basement. Raleigh is in the basement along with Mr. Marine. I think Mr. Marine dipped off, though. I haven't seen his name in here in a little bit. What's going on, Raleigh? I'll be on again tonight in about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. Luke Weaver is closing. Look at that. Holmes is not. Luke Weaver is looking for his first career save. I feel really good about this guy. I would say that about anybody they put out there. Luke Weaver is closing the game, not Holmes. And by the way, from Luis Heel throwing 1 hit, Cousins didn't give up a hit, Canely didn't give up a hit. So it's still only 1 hit for the Cubs today. Now Luke Weaver is in. This kid is good. Yep. All right, Zach. Thanks for stopping by, man. I'll be on tonight, man. Thanks for stopping by. I'll be doing the game tonight. So I'll see you in a few hours if you want to drop in with us again. It's 0-1 already on bottom of the 9th inning. We're 3 outs away from taking this game. What's good with you, Raleigh, man? How's it? Just got off work. How the Yankees are looking great, Raleigh. We're up 3-0. Luis Heel threw a 1-hitter. Jake Cousins came in, didn't give up a hit. Tommy Canely didn't give up a hit. Now Luke Weaver, not Clay Holmes, not Cardiac Clay, but Luke Weaver's closing the game. Aaron Boone finally said that Clay Holmes will not be the everyday closer anymore. You think after blowing 11 games? Can you imagine if we had those 11? Let's just say he blew 3 of those 11 and we won 8 of those, where we would be in the standings right now. And for those that want to know, the Yankee record for a closer blowing games is 13, done first by Goose Gossage and second by Dave Righetti in 1987. 1987, Dave Righetti blew 13 games to tie Goose Gossage's record. That's still the record. 13 blown saves in a season for Yankees closers. So we got Luke Weaver struck him out. Weaver struck him out. I can't believe this kid is 30. I'm telling you, if this kid didn't shave for 2 months, you wouldn't even know it. He looks like he's 12 and he's 30 years old. Anyway, he struck out the first batter, 1 down already. Clay Holmes would have walked him after a 10-pitch at bat. Someone looked this up for me. And I don't know why I can't find it. 1996 preseason record for the Jets. They just keep showing me the regular season. I need to know the preseason record for the Jets in 1996 and 95 while we're at it. I keep looking it up and it will not show it. All these things I'm looking at, it won't show me. It's freaking crazy. Why won't they show me the preseason record? Maybe I'm looking in the wrong area. I'm fact-checking myself because I've been making a statement about these 95 and 96 Jets teams, and I think I'm wrong on I'm not wrong on how horrendous they were, but I think I'm wrong on a stat I've been giving. Look at that. Luke Weaver struck out the second batter, or 1 out away. Is this what a closer looks like? 2 down. Cody Bellinger's coming up. This guy's a legitimate hitter. We got 2 outs. Nobody on. It's amazing. Yeah, 1996, the Jets won 1 game. They were 1-15, and I keep saying they went 5-0 in the preseason that year. It might have been 95 when they were 3-13. Can you imagine that, being 3-13 and being 2 games worse the next year? Boy, that's bad. Let's go, Luke Weaver. Look at this. This is what a real closer looks like. We already got strike 1 on Bellinger. This is perfect. I came into this game saying I hope it's over by 5. That'll give me 3 hours before the next game. And it's looking that way. Mr. Marine, it looks like we got a real closer. Looks like we got a real closer. Weaver struck out the first 2 guys. And by the way, Bellinger is the only Cub that got a hit today. Can you imagine? They just got a no-hitter their last game. They threw a no-hitter their last game. Can you imagine? I wonder if that's ever happened. A team throws a no-hitter and then the next game get no-hit. Because they were 1 hit away from getting no-hit today after throwing a no-hitter. I wonder if that's ever been done. That's a good question right there. Has a team ever thrown a no-hitter and then the very next game get no-hit? That's interesting because I just realized now Bellinger is their only player that got a hit. He's 2-2. The Yankees are 1 strike away from closing this game up. Really? No, I was wrong on both years, so I'll stop giving that stat. Someone told me I was wrong on that, which, I admit when I do. See, I fact checked myself. I did it right here in front of you guys. So I was wrong on that. Okay. I was wrong. Raleigh, better than my Padres. Hey, Bruin, Mr. Marine. Yeah, Padres. They're a weird team too, Raleigh. Like, they've had lineups that should be making I couldn't believe they didn't make the playoffs last year with Soto and Machado. And like the whole lineup they have is amazing they didn't make the playoffs. JB, it may not be relevant to stats almost 30 years later. I know, but just, I'm just going over my Jet misery, and there's so much that I don't like saying a wrong stat, though, and I've been saying something that's I've been wrong on. I was never wrong on Rich Kotite's 4-28 disaster, 4-28 in 2 years, 3-13 and 1-15. I always nailed that one, but I thought they were undefeated in one of those preseasons, and I was saying it a lot. So I will no longer say that stat I was wrong on. But I like to fact check myself in front of you guys. You guys know I'm real. I don't make stuff up, and I don't edit stuff out when I'm wrong. Come on. Okay, so Bellinger got on. Did he walk him? I don't even know if he walked him or got a hit. I was reading the chat. Let's see. He might have walked him. It was a full count. Yeah, he walked him. All right, he walked him. It's a full count. Thanks for looking that up, Bruin. Pro Football Reference. I don't know why I couldn't find that. Like, what was so hard about it? Ultimate Gaming. Wow, how are you, man? Welcome back into the basement, man. Yeah, I remember you. You were huge into cricket. You'd be Manav's kind of guy. You were huge into cricket. I certainly remember you, man. Thanks for showing back up, man. How you been? Raleigh, Johnny bought my first motorcycle last night. Wow, 1980 Yamaha 850 Special. Definitely needs work, but I wanted to get a bike that I can put work into. Man, Raleigh, that's awesome, man. I'm jealous. Wow, Raleigh, nice, man. Got yourself a bike. Be careful on that thing, man. Now I sound like your mom. I'm sure your mother tells you that enough, right? Did she have a stroke when you bought a motorcycle? 1980 Yamaha 850 Special, man. That's beautiful, Raleigh. Put a lot of work and love into that thing, man. You'll never want to get rid of it. How many miles does the thing have on it? Paredes is up. It's 1-0 count on him. 2-0 count. Come on, Weaver. Don't pull a Holmes. Come on. We're just praising this guy. Struck out the first two batters. Walked Bellinger. 2 outs. It's 2-0 count on Paredes right now. That's awesome, Raleigh. Congratulations, man. All right, fouled back. 2-1. 2-1. Come on, Weaver. Come on. He was one of my 3 I said should be our closer. At least, to try out to be closer. Weaver, Jake Cousins, Tommy Canely. Those are the 3 guys that I at least would rotate as closer. We gave him a strike. That was a ball. Wow. Weaver just threw a cutter. Like, if this is the strike zone, the ball was like here. It's like here. And the umpire called it a strike. This is the corner of the strike zone. It was like this much off. Wow. He gave him. All right, it's 2-2. Yeah, Paredes is going to have to swing at everything now. He even looked at the ump like, you got to be kidding me. I don't blame him. Even the Yankee announcers were like, dude, that was a ball. That was like 2 feet off the plate. Maybe the umpire's got things to do. We got to get this game over. All right, 2-2. One more strike to go. Oh, man, that was way high. 3-2. Full count. I'll be careful, John. Yep. 9,000 miles. That's it? Was in a barn here in Rochester for 22 years. Bought it, changed the carburetor, started right up. No kidding. Was an elderly couple that has it? 22 years it sat around with 9,000 miles? Wow. That's a great find, Raleigh. Good for you. Oh, man, Paredes just fouled off what would have been ball 4. Man, you don't want to give up a 2-run homer here, man. Even we got the first 2 guys out. Come on, Weaver. Show us you can handle this pressure of being a closer. Come on. Full count. Paredes is a good hitter, man, but he's 0 for 3 tonight or today. Boy, this guy's fouling off everything, man. This bat is forever. Still 3-2. I almost forgot about you. You popped up on my screen, so I decided to drop by. Appreciate it, Ultimate, man. We appreciate it, man. Anytime. I'll be on again in about 3 hours. We got a Eagles-Packers game tonight. The NFL better not do another 45-minute opening. Yep, that was ball 4 also. He had to swing at that because that's where the umpire called strike last. Man, this guy. Paredes he has 2 strikes on him. He has to swing it, especially after that umpire called that ball that was at least at least a good foot off the called it. He's going to have to swing at everything. He cannot get this guy out. Paredes is fighting. This has become a huge at bat. Yeah, go Packers. I'm with you on that one, Bruin. Go Packers. Tonight's game is in Brazil. Yeah, Mr. Marine. So knowing the NFL, they'll probably have some huge grand opening again like they had last night. You were right, man. I was dead tired when I got off this game last night. I was done. Ground out. Glaber. That's the game. Glaber, he hit it right up the middle. Glaber backhanded it, threw it to first base. And that's the ball game. Weaver closed it out, had a tough at bat against Paredes right there, saved the game. The Yankees only gave up one hit from Luis Gil. And the closers, none of them, the bullpen didn't give up any hits. We gave up one walk. Weaver walked one guy. So Cousins, Canely, Weaver, no hits. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're looking for from the bullpen right there. Guys, we can talk more about this later on. I'll be on. The game says it starts at 8:15. I'll be on when the game starts. When the game starts, I'll be on. Okay? I think it's on Peacock tonight, isn't it? I think the game's on. I have Peacock. I don't know if everybody has it, but let me see. I'm pretty sure. Let's all find this out right now. Yeah, it's on Peacock, but I could probably get the Philly game on a local channel anyway, but I still get it either way. So anyway, guys, that's the story. I'll see you guys in 3 hours. The Yankees win 3-0, much needed win. Well-pitched game. That's really what was important. A well-pitched game finally, and the bullpen shut business down. Shut business down. Mr. Marine, JB wins in the afternoon, maybe someday games in the future. Yes. Why not? Well, the Yankees are on it. They're on at 2:20 again tomorrow. I would say I'd probably doing that game tomorrow too, Mr. Marine. Why not? 2:20 they're on. Yep. Anyway, I'll see you guys in 3 hours. Right, Bruin? You got it right. I'll see you guys in 3 hours. All right. Until then, thank you for making this afternoon fun. I didn't think I'd have that many people in. I didn't know what you all were doing today. Good deal, guys. See you in 3 hours. Thanks again, man. See you tonight.